87 car and the 21X. Down the front straightaway, it's Natchitoches, Louisiana's Ryan French. French in that Trimax Industries, Joel's Auto Sales, Matco Tools, number 21. So you've got Briar Cheatham and Ryan French on the speedway. Ponce de Leon, Florida for Cheatham, and Natchitoches, Louisiana for Ryan French as they come to the white flag this time by lap number 1 for the 87. It'll be fifth quick, 17.359, 17359. Ryan French trying to go a little bit better than that. It'll be sixth quick, 17.555, 17555 for the 21X. Fifth and sixth, respectively, right now. As Cheatham up the hill there, he's going to scrub a bunch of speed down the front straightaway. Lap number 2 officially 18.407. Lap number 2 for French is better, 16.853. He's up to fourth, 16.853. Final two drivers in group number 1. First driver out will be your point leader. Driver out of Jasper, Georgia, that Mountain Ridge Realty, Roland Racing, and Peary's Wrecker Service 22. That's Will Rowland here down the front straightaway. And right behind him, you will find the 3 car. That is Baker, Florida's Trent McLeod. Trent McLeod in that McLeod Motorsports number 3. Everybody chasing down Matt Henderson's 15.784. 5.784 for Henderson, the time to beat. Everybody on the clock now. Final two drivers in qualifying group number 1. Out comes the white here for your winner shootout point leader. Quick time, 15.679. 15679 for Will Rowland. Lap number 1 is going to put him on the pole of the heat race. Trent McLeod, 16.519. 16.519. See if Will Rowland can go a little bit faster. 15.679. Lap number 1. It is faster. 15.605. 15605. Lap number 2. Trent McLeod better as well. 16.063. 16063. So how about Will Rowland? Winner Series point leader quick time in qualifying group number 1 with a 15.605. Group number 2 should be ready to roll out onto the front straightaway. First 2 cars should be the 24 of Stephen Jernigan, driver from here in Milton, Florida. Should be the first driver rolling out onto the racetrack. First 2 cars being called to the racetrack here in qualifying group number 2. Again, 8 cars. 2 cars at a time, green, then a white, then checkered. Here comes the 24 of Stephen Jernigan. Jernigan again at a Milton, Florida. That Southland Excavating, Pensacola Insurance Inspectors 24. He'll roll onto the racetrack in Rome, Georgia's Mario Gresham on the racetrack as well. Mario in that one-source paint and body, Gresham Racing Parts 21. Again, these 8 drivers will qualify amongst themselves. 15.605, fastest lap of the night so far. Will Rowland in qualifying group number 1. Let's see what happens here in qualifying group number 2. Stephen Jernigan, first driver to the white flag. Lap number 1 for Jernigan, 15.600, 15.600. Faster than qualifying group number 1 there for Jernigan. Here comes Gresham. It'll be a 15.996. 15996 for Mario Gresham. See if Jernigan goes faster. No, 15.623, 15623 for Stephen Jernigan on lap number 2. Lap number 2 here for Mario Gresham. Will it be faster? Yes, 15.940, 15940 for Mario Gresham. Next 2 cars ready to roll will be Jake Rainey, first driver out. He's out of Powder Springs, Georgia. He's in that Landrum Tree Modern Imaging and Barrett's Performance Parts number 87. And Cody Smith in the 40 car. He'll roll onto the front straightaway as well. He's out of Holt, Florida. He's in that Jet Motorsports, The Dock Restaurant, number 40. 15.600, the time to beat here in qualifying group number 2. Jake Rainey, the Powder Springs, Georgia racer, working to the white flag here. Lap number 1 for Rainey, third quick, 16.149, 16149 for Jake Rainey. Lap number 1 for Cody Smith. No transponder picking up there for Cody Smith. We'll see what happens. Jake Rainey here, lap number 2. Rainey better, 16.056. 16056 for Jake Rainey's 87 car. 40 car Cody Smith, no transponder reading on either lap there for the driver out of Holt, Florida. So 40 car is going to roll here. He was going to stay on the racetrack there for a moment. Track official was coming out to swap out a transponder, but the 40 car exited into the pit area. So we'll send the next 2 cars. They will be led out by the USA 122 car. That'll be Jimmy Thomas, driver out of Phoenix City, Alabama. He'll work onto the front straightaway in that Sugarland Materials Scorpion Race Cars USA 122. And Sioux Falls, South Dakota's John Wingy. Wingy in that Hendren Race Engines, Kane Wraps and Designs, number 17. Driver out of Alabama and one all the way from South Dakota here on the racetrack. We wrap up qualifying group number 2. A couple more cars in staging to be the final 2 out there. Jimmy Thomas down the front straightaway, lap number 1. 16.868, 16868 for Jimmy Thomas. Lap number 1 for John Wingy, 16.134, 16134 for John Wingy in the 17. Lap number 2. Thomas a little bit better exit there off turn number 4. He will be much better, 15.952, 15952 for Jimmy Thomas. John Wingy better as well, 15.971, 15971 for John Wingy in 17. Final 2 cars ready to roll onto the front straightaway. It will be the 1 car, Jesse Enerkin. From here in Milton, Florida, that Hunt Front TV, Base Racing Fuels, Capital Race Cars, number 1. And Colton Leyendecker on the racetrack as well. Leyendecker in that Bill Stein Shocks 33 car. He is out of Holt, Florida. Jesse Enerkin, fastest in hot laps earlier tonight. We'll see if that parlays into fastest in qualifying as well. Everybody chasing a 15.600. Steven Jernigan's got it right now. Let's see what Enerkin can do. Here comes the Hunt the Front 1 car. Jesse Enerkin, quick time, 15.500. 15500 for the 1 car. Leyendecker quicker, 15.462. 15462 for Colton Leyendecker. See if Enerkin can go faster yet. Nope, he'll sit on a 15.500. Leyendecker trying to go even faster. He will also not, but that'll be quickest. 15.462. 15462. Those 2 drivers on the racetrack, fastest 2 in qualifying group number 2. So 2 groups done, 1 group yet to go. Getting ready to go here for the final qualifying group. Scheduled to have 9 cars in this group. We do know that the 98 of Arlen Smith from Gulf Shores, Alabama, will be a scratch here. Had some engine issues as he was unloading the race car and warming it up here tonight, so he's going to scratch from qualifying. He'll be back tomorrow night. Here come the first 2 cars. It'll be the 7 car. It's Bridge City, Texas racer Corey Neal Jr. Corey in that first-class septic, Curtis and Sons Company, number 7. And the 99, of Pace Florida's Tim Anderson. Anderson in that Anderson Land Management VP Racing Fuels, number 99. So again, we'll have 4 sets of 2, 8 cars here to complete qualifying in qualifying group number 3. 15.462, the overall quickest lap we've seen tonight. Here comes Corey Neal Jr., 15.423. That's the quickest lap of the night so far. 15.423 for Corey Neal Jr., 17.440 for Tim Anderson. Anderson, 17.440. Corey Neal already set the fastest lap of the night here in the 7 car. See if he can go faster on lap number 2. He will not. 16.563, but a 15.423. Awful solid opening lap. Anderson's going to shut that 99 car down, so he will stand on his 17.442. Opening lap for the driver of the 99. Next two cars beginning to roll down the chute. 0-2 car. He'll be the first driver out. That'll be J.C. Wilson. Wilson from here in Milton, Florida, in the black and orange 0-2 machine. Renegade Race Fuels 02 car. And the 17 car down the front straightaway. Driver out of West Monroe, Louisiana. In that Storm Services. Team 5 Enterprises and SSC Heating 17. That's Austin Storm. So you've got J.C. Wilson and Austin Storm on the racetrack here. Everybody chasing a 15.423. 15423 for Corey Neal Jr. Storm into the concrete there. Major damage to the right rear of that 17 car as he was coming to green. Wilson's going to come to the white flag. Lap number 1 for Wilson. Second quick, 15.472. 154.72. Really good first lap there for J.C. Wilson. Austin Storm's going to come by. 17.955. 179.55. See if Wilson can go faster. Good second lap as well. Not quite as fast, though. 15.790. Austin Storm trying to improve. That should be much better. He was not in the wall that lap. He will improve to third quick. 16.127. 16.127 there for Austin Storm. Next two cars begin to roll down the chute. It will be Tyler Millwood, a driver out of Kingston, Georgia. He's in that Millwood Plumbing Gray's Mobile Service and 2-3 collective number 31. And Larry Fitzsimmons, a driver out of East Bethel, Minnesota, in that Longhorn Race Cars Kane Wraps and Designs number 73. So a couple good ones here. Millwood second in the Winter Series point standings coming into this championship weekend here. See what Millwood can do here in the 31. And the Minnesota racer, Larry Fitzsimmons, on the racetrack as well. Tyler Millwood working off turn number 4. Got a little bit high, had to get on the brakes there, Millwood. .73 of Larry Fitzsimmons, 17.641, 17641. Millwood was a 16.763. Much better second lap here for Tyler Millwood. It will go third quick, 15.930. 15930, lap number 2 for Tyler Millwood. Larry Fitzsimmons, better, 16.524. 16524 for Larry Fitzsimmons. That'll be fifth quick in qualifying group number 3. And we've got 2 more cars to go. Matthew Kane will be the first driver onto the racetrack in the F36 car. And the 20 car of Cody Cook should be the final 2 cars. We don't see the F36 for some reason. So Cody Cook's going to go by himself. Driver out of Holt, Florida here in that black, white, and pink number 20. Cook on the clock. Final driver to qualify here in group number 3. Chasing a 15.423 by Corey Neal Jr. White flag will be coming out here. One more trip around, and we will wrap up qualifying here. Lap number 1 for Cooks, an 18.550. 18550 for Cody Cook. Checkered flag flies. Last driver to qualify. Better on lap number 2. 17.508. 17508 for Cody Cook. So that is it. We'll wrap up qualifying. Fastest in qualifying group number 1, Will Rowland, 15.605. Fastest in qualifying group number 2, Colton Leyendecker, 15.462. And fastest in qualifying group number 3 and fastest overall tonight, driver out of Bridge City, Texas, Corey Neal Jr. with a 15.423. So that will wrap up Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA qualifying heat races coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crate Racing USA Street Stocks getting ready to come to the track for heat race number 1. Getting them ready to come out onto the track. Heat race number 1, your pole setter. In the 36, out of Fort Walton, Florida, Nick Weldon. Beside him, in the 25, it's going to be Jacob Watson out of Sorrento, Louisiana. Inside row 2, the 11 of Chris Walker. And beside him, out of Milton, Florida, the 99, being driven by Dallas Lispin. Row 3, Brandon Harris in the 2. And beside him, Louing, Louisiana's Mickey Troskler in the 521. Last row, row 4, Bobby Wolf in the X29. And beside him in the 8th spot, Hayden Hartwick out of Rosebud, Arkansas. Land of the Hogs. Getting ready to come out onto the track. Our distance for this heat race will be 6 laps. Street stocks, your heats are coming. You are ready for your heat. USCS Sprint Heat will be next, followed by the Crate Racing USA Late Model Heat. Then we will have Stingers, Modified, and Non-Wing Sprint before we go to intermission. Heat race number 1 getting to roll out onto the track. Ladies and gentlemen, here at Southern Raceway, our classes start between the first tire and barrel going into turn 4 and the second tire and barrel coming out of turn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, just for safety, please remember to stay away from the fence. Have the children stay away from the fence as well. Nick Weldon in the 36. He is your pole setter. Nick Weldon on the point, your pole setter. Jacob Watson in the 25, outside pole. Row 2, Dallas Lispin, Chris Walker. Row 3, Mickey Troskler and Bobby Wolf. Hayden Hartwick and Brandon Harris bringing up the rear. They have waved off the start as somebody got too quick on the happy button and jumped the start. We will get them back in line. We'll rack them up, try to break them out one more time here at Southern Raceway. By the way, just for those of you here at the track live, don't forget tomorrow we're going to have more racing. Also, if you are wanting to get your 50-50 tickets tonight, or if you'd like to get a Southern Raceway t-shirt or hoodie, you can get those at the table behind the ticket booth. Don't forget about the birthday list. We will try to cover that at intermission. It will be a short intermission. Resetting the field, Nick Weldon, Jacob Watson. Weldon on the inside, Watson on the high side. Weldon gets the start, green flag in the air as they make the run down into 1. As everybody's got the happy pedal down to the firewall. And we are, oh, look out. We have a spinner. Turn number 2, your pole setter, Nick Weldon, goes around in 2 to bring out a caution. Kind of a rough start to the heat races here at Southern Raceway. Don't forget USCS Sprint Heat will be coming up next here at Southern Raceway. Let's try it one more time. We're going to rack them up. See if we can't get them to break out better. Nick Weldon, Jacob Watson, row 1. Row 2, Chris Walker, Dallas Lispin. Row 3, Brandon Harris, Mickey Troskler. And row 4, Bobby Wolf and Hayden Hartwick. Distance is 6 laps, but everybody's trying to win it on the first lap. Some going as far as trying to win it on the first corner. Can't be done. You got to complete all 6. Be the first one to the checkered flag. Green flag in the air. Weldon on the gas. Looks like there might have been some contact with Jacob Watson. Coming off turn 4, coming to the stripe. Weldon out front. And here comes Chris Walker in the 11, looking to make some hay, along with Dallas Lisman. One on the board. Your leader is Nick Weldon. Dallas Lisman second. Mickey Trostler third. Chris Walker fourth. Hayden Hartwick in the 5th spot. Coming off turn number 4, Weldon showing the way, but he's got company coming in the Mickey Trostler machine. Chris Walker up to third. Dallas Lisman fourth. Hayden Hartwick in the 5th spot. Bobby Wolf, Jacob Watson, Brandon Harris round out the lineup. Halfway this time by the flag stand. 3 down, 3 to go. Mickey Trostler out in the lead. Nick Weldon second. Chris Walker third. Dallas Lisman and Hayden Hartwick, your top 5. Trostler got around Weldon and has jumped out to a big major lead. Trostler coming off turn number 2 down the backstretch. White flag out next time by for Mickey Trostler. Trostler coming to the stripe. White flag last lap. Then it's going to be Nick Weldon and Chris Walker, your top 3. But Mickey Trostler has checked out, and he's just eating it up here on the 3/8 mile dirt. Coming up, turn number 4, your leader and winner, Mickey Trostler. Second place, that's going to be Nick Weldon, followed by Chris Walker, Dallas Lisman. Then it's going to be Hayden Hartwick, Bobby Wolf, Jacob Watson, and Brandon Harris, and then Jacob Watson. Watson fell way back. Heat race number 2 getting ready to come out. Heat race number 2 coming out onto the track. Dylan Ussery, your pole setter in the 71. Beside him, the 311 of Mr. Robo Hutchinson. Row 2, Damon Murphy in the 99D and Wyatt Parker in the 8. Row 3, Kendall Kimmons in the 30. Austin Moy out of J in the 18. Last row, Audubon, Iowa's Mike Albertson. And beside him, Milton, Florida's Gregory LaCrosse. 6 laps, citizens. Your pole setter. That's going to be Dylan Ussery. He's on the gas pedal. He leads the run down into 1. Ussery has the drop, and right behind him, that looks like that's going to be Robo Hutchinson. Robo Hutchinson, Dylan Ussery, Damon Murdy, Wyatt Parker, and Austin Moy, your top 5. Robo Hutchinson continues to show the way. Robo Hutchinson out of Panama City, Florida. Damon Murdy running in the 2nd spot. 3rd place, that's going to be the 18 of Austin Moy. Well, Moy is back to 4th. Wyatt Parker looks like he's trying to make some hay as he's battling Austin Moy on the track out front. It is Robo Hutchinson in the 311. Damon Murdy, Austin Moy, Wyatt Parker. Kendall Kimmons in the 5th spot. Coming to complete lap number 5. White flag, Robo Hutchinson leading the way. Damon Murdy in the 2nd spot. Coming through turns 3 and 4, your leader. Coming to the checkered flag, Panama City's Robo Hutchinson in the 311. Damon Murdy second. Mike Albertson in third. Wyatt Parker in fourth. Fifth place, Austin Moy. USCS Sprint Car Heat coming up next. And with those heat races, it is going to be your announcer for these heat. And that is going to be Tommy Rowe, bringing you all the action here at Southern Raceway.
All right, thank you very much, Bill, and good evening once again, Southern Raceway, and those watching live on Hunt the Front TV Facebook page right now. Getting ready to roll out first up two USCS 360 Sprint Car Heat Races. 16 drivers signed in. Going to have a pair of heat races, 8 laps to distance, and 8 passing points. The name of the game, the top 6 drivers in passing points from each of the 2 heat races will transfer over to the Hoosier Tire Speed Dash, where they will race for the top 6 starting positions. In tonight's 25-lap main event, Engler Machine and Tool, heat race number 1, being pushed out onto the speedway right now, 8 drivers. This is how they'll line up for heat race number 1. We're number 1 on the inside, the 938. He'll come to us out of Bonnerdale, Arkansas. It'll be Bradley Fazzard. And to the outside, in the 2H in Natchitoches, Louisiana, it'll be Tommy Hall. Row number 2 on the inside, the 14B. Out of East Chatham, New York, it'll be Brett Wright. And to the outside, the 23 out of Cherville, North Carolina. 2023 USCS National Tour runner-up, that'll be Lance Moss. Runner 3 on the inside. In the 83 car to Jacksonville, Florida, that'll be Mark Rule Jr. And to the outside, in the 6G out of Windsor, Colorado, that'll be Brian Gossel. And your 4th and final row on the inside, in car number 43, he'll come to us out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania. 9 feature wins here at the Southern Raceway since 2019 in USCS competition. It'll be Mark Smith, and to the outside, and car number 36 out of Liberal, Kansas, 2023 National 360 Sprint Car Driver of the Year, 12 feature wins in 2023. It'll be Jason Martin, and car number 36. So 8 drivers, once again, 8 laps to distance. First up, 2 USCS 360 Sprint Car Heat Races coming your way. And racked and stacked, ready to go. Your front row, the 938 of Bradley Fazzard at Bonnerdale, Arkansas. Tommy Hall in the 2H, the Hall's Auto Glass 2H entry. Looking for those 2 drivers on the front row. Race number 6 of the 2024 USCS Winter Heat Series. Scheduled to be at the Southern Raceway 2 weekends ago, but Mother Nature got with them. And back here tonight, along with the Crate Racing USA late models. Got the modifieds, non-wing sprint cars, stock cars, all in the house with us here this weekend. Great weekend of racing. The weather's been awesome. You have the chance to come out and check it out. Know somebody that's not here that ought to be here, hop on your phone, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you use, and let them know Southern Raceway, the place to be here on Friday and Saturday night. And don't forget, those watching live at home, you can go to huntthefronttv.com. Watch all the action here tonight and tomorrow night. 8 drivers, 8 laps to distance. Lights will go down. Right here on the flag stand will go green. Next time at a turn number 4, 8 times around the Southern Raceway. Engler Machine and Tool, heat race number 1 will go green. Next time at a turn number 4. Bradley Fazzard in the 938 car. Tommy Hall in 2H, it'll be your front row. The New York driver, Brent Wright. In the 14B, Cherville, North Carolina driver Lance Moss inside, outside, road number 2. Very diverse field here tonight. 13 different states represented of the 16 drivers. Arkansas, Louisiana, road number 1. Here in heat race number 1. The USCS 360 Sprint Cars. Green flag is out. Fazzard going to take the race lead down the back straightaway, followed by Brett Wright up to second. Good race for third right now. That'll be the 6 car of Brian Gossel up to third. 3 wide for fourth. Mark Smith up through the field already. Mark Smith from 7th to 4th, looking for more down at the turn number 2. Has his sight set at 60 of Brian Gossel down the back straightaway. But it's all Bradley Fazan, the 938 car, out in front right now. The 14 of Brent Wright sitting second. Good race for third. Now Mark Smith dipped down the inside of the turn number 2. Looking for third down the back straightaway. Mark Smith working on those passing points here in heat race number 1. Gossel back to 4th. Mark Rule round out the top 5. But it's all Bonneville, Arkansas driver Bradley Fazan out in front right now. Halfway home, heat race number 1. It's Bradley Fazan, Brent Wright, 1-2. Mark Smith from 7th to 3rd. Trying to run down right now. Race for 4th heating up down to turn number 3 now. Mark Rule all over the back bumper of the 6th car of Austin Gossel. Gossel hanging on to 4th wheel to the bottom of the speedway, trying to get the run. 2 more trips around for Bradley Fazan, 938 car. Mark Smith closing for 2nd. Smith coming around to try to run down the 14 of Brent Wright. White flag is out. Bradley Fazan out of Bonnerdale, Arkansas in turn number 3 and 4. Going to get the win here in heat race number 1. Wright 2nd. Smith 3rd. Austin Gossel 4th. And Mark Rule going to round out the top 5. Jason Martin 6th and Lance Moss round out your 7 drivers on the speedway. So finishing 3rd in heat race number 1 out of the 43 car, Mark Smith. Brent Wright in the 14B 2nd. And your winner out of Bonneville, Arkansas, number 938, that'll be Bradley Fazard. Heat race number 2, getting ready to roll out onto the speedway right now. Butler Belt, race number 2, second and final heat race for the USCS 360 sprint cars. 8 more drivers, if they can all make it, getting ready to go 8 laps to distance. And number 1 on the inside, the 121 out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That'll be Todd Bliss. And to the outside, the 28 out of Ripley, Mississippi. It's the Ripley Rooster, Jeff Willingham. Row number 2 on the inside, number 13 out of Valparaiso, Indiana. That'll be Van Gurley. And to the outside, the 24 out of Altoona, Iowa, 2017 National Sprint Car Hall of Famer. That'll be T-Mac Terry McCall. Row number 3 on the inside, and number 10 out of Bartlett, Tennessee, 2022 Hall of Famer. That'll be the Bartlett Bullet, Terry Gray. And to the outside, the 12 car to Hebron, Indiana. Former USCS feature winner, that'll be Corbin Gurley. And your 4th and final row on the inside, in the 16 out of Fort Collins, Colorado, it's Austin Gossel. And to the outside, the 95 out of Glenpool, Oklahoma, it's Matt Covington. 8 drivers, 8 laps to distance, second and final heat race. Butler Built, heat race number 2 for the USCS 360 sprint cars. Getting ready to come your way. Don't forget, race fans, down here at the racetrack right now, don't forget to go down and see Miss Kim at the USCS souvenir tent. Got the new USCS Winter Heat t-shirts and hoodies for sale down at the souvenir tent. All kinds of good stuff for the kids. She does take cash, credit, or debit. So stop by and see Miss Kim. And don't forget, race fans watching on your Facebook page right now, you can go to huntthefronttv.com. You can watch the rest of tonight's action. Have a full USCS main event coming your way still to come tonight. And another full program tomorrow night. All of those available here this weekend on Hunt the Front TV. HuntTheFront.tv is the website. Announcing that just a little wrong there. Not HuntTheFrontTV.com, but HuntTheFront.tv, where you will go to get tonight's stream and tomorrow night's as well. Nonetheless, getting all the drivers pushed off. Heat race number 2, Butler Built heat race number 2. Still have the dash and main event yet to come tonight. Top 6 drivers and passing points from each of these heat races will race for the top 6 starting positions. And I do believe the 121 of Todd Bliss in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the Cajun Collision 121, going to elect to start tail end of the field. So that'll crisscross the rest of the drivers here in heat race number 2. Should put the Ripley Rooster of Jeff Willingham on the front row alongside Van Gurley and number 13. And now we'll have a Hall of Fame row number 2 with T-Mac Terry McCall inside of row number 2. And the Bartlett Bullet Terry Gray on the outside. Getting all the drivers in the correct running order now. As the 121 of Todd Bliss going to elect to start tail end of the field, as we said. Corbin Gurley in the 12 car. Now Austin Gosselin, 16, will make up row number 3. Matt Covington in row number 4. Todd Bliss going to make a row number 5, all back there by himself. I'll like to start tail end of the field. Lights will go down. Heat race number 2 will go green out of turn number 4. Final heat race of the evening for the sprint car. Still a lot of racing yet to come tonight. Now the Crate Racing USA late model heat races coming your way up next. We have one more heat race to settle right here with the USCS 360 sprint cars. It'll be the Ripley Rooster, Jeff Willingham on the inside of row number 1. Valparaiso, Indiana driver Van Gurley on the outside. T-Mac, Terry McCall, Terry Gray in the 10 car. Make up inside, outside, row number 2. Coming to green, 8 laps to distance. Green flag is out. Almost 3 wide for a moment. Van Gurley going to use the outside of the speedway. Power around Willingham for the race lead. McCall going to take the same line. Move T-Mac, Terry McCall already up to second. Terry Gray going to follow pursuit. The Ripley Rooster falling back just a little bit. Meanwhile, up front, here comes T-Mac, Terry McCall on the prowl, looking for the race lead down the back straightaway. He'll slide in front of Gurley out of turn number 3. Move T-Mac, Terry McCall to the race leader on lap number 2. Van Gurley sitting second. The Bullet Terry Gray up to third. Corbin Gurley, Matt Covington, your top 5 here in heat racing number 2. Second and final heat race of the evening. It's all Terry McCall up front right now. Third to first here in heat racing number 2. Now single file stretched out around the speedway right now. McCall putting some distance between him and Van Gurley. Gurley, not a name we call very often in their USCS Sprint Car Series. Good to see him making the trip down. Running really strong right now in second. The Bartlett Bullet, Terry Gray, right there on your picture, trying to run him down in that 10 machine. 5 down, 3 to go for T-Mac. The Altoona, Iowa driver, 2017 National Sprint Car Hall of Famer. Over 300 wins in his career, coming around 2 more trips around here at heat racing number 2. Van Gurley second. The Bartlett Bullet, Terry Gray running third, but here comes Corbin Gurley in the 12 car trying to make a late charge for third. White flag will be out for T-Mac this time. One more trip around. McCall straightaway advantage over Gurley in second. Race for third, really good. Corbin Gurley dipping down the inside. He'll have one more trip down the back straightaway. At a turn number 4, your winner, heat race number 2, will belong to Terry McCall. Van Gurley second. Terry Gray third, Corbin Gurley fourth, and Matt Covington round out the top 5. Clean and green in each of the heat races here tonight for the USCS Outlaw Thunder Tour. These drivers take it back to the pit area and get ready to come back for the Hoosier Tire Speed Dash. Will be coming up after the modified heat races. Until then, we'll turn it back over to Chris. I do believe Crate Racing USA late model heat races up next.